After reading chapter 219, one thing is sure in my mind that when Sakuna reaches 20 fingers, he cannot be stopped, even by the likes of Gojo. Start the chapter off with a flashback in the Heian era. These people have invited Sakuna into a harvest ritual where they will pretty much pray for him, even if they don't want to really do that. So they're simply doing it because they want to freaking stay alive. And we pretty much skip to Yorozu, who is just butt naked, where her servant is pretty much like freaking begging her to at least wear some clothes and some kind of undergarment, since it is the harvest festival, right? And Yorozu being Yorozu pretty much agrees to go to the festival only because they serve like a deep fried Japanese dish named karaku damuno. I'm so sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, but I did as best as I could. After throwing on a robe, as Ryozu pretty much goes, thinking that she hasn't that at the Japanese dish in ages, but then she comes across Sakuna in his full might and glory in the Heian era. My goodness, look at this man. He's freaking at least 9 feet tall or something, man. Look at him. He looks like a Chad. And not to mention, Sakuna just looks bored out of his mind. He looks like he doesn't want to be here. He's like looking at his servant and be like, yeah, man, get me out of here, bro. I don't want to be here. I mean, look at his face. And then we cut to a few panels later to see Yorozu hugging Sakuna. Like, why, bro? Why are you hugging him? Don't you see his face? He doesn't like it one bit. Like, what makes you think that he likes it with that kind of face? God damn it. But anyways, see, he hugs Sakuna and pretty much says that, he's lonely, which is surprising and is kind of, the thing that you should be thinking about. Sakuna was lonely, but for the most part of his life, but what I think, Sakuna was not lonely because he could not make friends or anything. Sakuna was lonely because he pretty much chose to be lonely, because he's the honored one of his era, right? And because of that, I do think the Sakuna is pretty much above everyone in Jujutsu Kaisen currently, even over Gojo in its 20 finger form. And yeah, that's something that Yorozu cannot control. Sakuna does not care about. He loves to be alone. And then in the next few panels, we just see Sakuna just cutting up Yorozu without her even realizing, which made me think that Sakuna he didn't even flinch, bro. He did not even move, and he just cut her up with dismantle or cleave with one of either those techniques. And the thing that made me realize, but Yorozu was damn bright bitch crazy, bro. Even after being cut by Sakuna, she was like, yeah, what a heart wrenching cut. Now, while I was reading this, like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? That was all I was thinking. Of course, I was thinking how strong Sakuna was and how much control over his, cursed energy he really had. And then we cut to the current era where Sakuna and Yorozu are battling. Yorozu releases a technique named Perfect Spear, which even Sakuna does acknowledge of being a strong technique, right? And for the new Lex panels, we pretty much get the explanation that this spear is pretty much, said to be, it's pretty much said to be impossible to create because such objects, have an infinitely small point of contact, therefore generating infinite pressure along the surface. So, it's pretty much hard to evade and destroys anything that it touches. Similar to what Gozo's Hollow Purple does. It's almost on that level. And then Yorozu pretty much is like, are you able to even grasp it, or are you able to handle this amount of technique, right? Sakuna, she pretty much says that. And I cannot believe that she's trash talking Sakuna so much with how much and later on in the chapter how badly she loses. And then she reuses her domain expansion, and then we get a really good panel of this of her domain expansion of 3 layers of affiliation. And then just look at it, bro, and it is just amazing. And then, she notices that Sakuna is just standing there. He is not doing anything. She's like, why won't you use your domain? Why won't you use your domain? Why won't you do anything about it? You saw it, didn't you? Like, it's that perfect spear that I created is it destroys anything that it comes in contact with. And in this domain, it is certain to hit you. And if you don't do anything about it, you will get killed. You do realize that. and Sakuna doesn't care. He does the most insane shit in Jujutsu Kaisen till now. He reveals something that I'll talk about in later on in this same video about how this can be used to defeat Gojo, right? He pretty much the wheel that was over Sakuna's head for such a long time. He uses that wheel to summon Maharaga. And when Maharaga comes out, his smiling ass, he just looks happy as ever. He pretty much destroys that perfect spear without any difficulty. And Yorozu is just shocked, man. She did not thought that this could happen. It could, as in one of the panels, she does say that to think that it destroyed a perfect spear, implying that she's really shocked. And then she pretty much is like, how did you do that? How does anything happen? And she's just completely shocked. She asks Sakuna, and then he pretty much says, I already had adapted to them. I already had adapted their curse techniques. And then when Maharaga, when I summoned them, he also had already adapted to all of her curse techniques. That's pretty much GG's over there. Yorozu is, just talking nonsense again. Wow, you didn't realize that you knew me so well, Sakuna, and makes me happy. And Sakuna just look at his face, bro. He does not give a fuck. Even Sakuna is thinking, what? How crazy is this bitch, bro? It's honestly so surprising. And Yorozu, at her last moments, does create something for Sakuna. She tells him to, cherish it as long as he lives, right? And then we cut to a last but a really depressing panel of Megumi crying, and his eyes, which were open before, have just shut down. And yeah, it's just terrible. I don't think we're gonna see Megumi for a while now, and that is just terrifying. Of Sakuna just roaming around, being free without Gojo having to tame him. I do think that Gojo can defeat Sakuna currently, but when Sakuna does reach 20 fingers of his strength with Megumi's body, bro, I'm not sure if even Gojo can beat that man, bro. It's a debate between 20 Finger Sakuna and Gojo was there, and I was in the Gojo team, but after Sakuna taking over Megumi's body, it's hard to say. Now, as for going with the same thing, Sakuna, what I'm trying to say was between his battle with Gojo, which is inevitable, which will happen, whenever it happens in the series. And what I was trying to say is Sakuna, even in his 15 finger state, has a decent chance against Gojo. What I'm trying to imply is, Sakuna could hold off Gojo at least for long enough to adapt to all of his techniques, the same way he did with Yorozu, and then summon Maharaga to get through Gojo's infinity barrier that he has around him, since Maharaga would have adapted to Gojo's techniques by then, and just slaughtered him. It's so crazy that this chapter has revealed, and it's who can stop him, bro? Who can stop Sakuna at this point? I think it's pretty much history is gonna repeat itself, and Sakuna is just gonna become the strongest again, and maybe the likes of Gojo and so many more characters have to band up together in order to stop him. I think that's gonna be one of the endings, maybe hopeful possible endings of Jujutsu Kaisen. But again, this series has become more unpredictable as it has kept on going, and I'm all for it. I'm loving Jujutsu Kaisen as it is right now. Not to mention, One Piece is also on a demon timing of hypeness. Previous chapter we had Shanks, and this chapter we had Garp. So things are just going absolute rackshack crazy. And then soon we're gonna get the Boruto chapter, which I'm looking forward to. Just so much shit is going on. Not to mention, we're gonna get Demon Slayer chapter in 2 days, and I mean, Demon Slayer anime into this. I'm really excited for that as well. Hopefully, you guys did like this video, and if you did, subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Also, like this video. So, if you guys have already done that, please thank you. Without you, all of this would not be possible. So, yeah, see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out, guys. Have a really nice day. Peace.